fight's not over.
Stop the fight!
People.
Everybody, I come here for everybody. Kill everybody. I'm the champ. I'm the king. Kill everybody. Ah!
Okay, we're back with our post-fight. You're going to hear a little bit of salty ranting here because things are just out of hand with these judges, man. We're on the wrong side of 3 split decisions tonight. We ended 6 for 13 on fights. And let's just get into the main event. So I scored the fight 48-47 for Kattar. And, I mean, let's just start with round 1. Very close, but I'll give the edge to Emmett just off aggressiveness. Something that stood out to me in this fight, too, was that Kattar really only used his jab to kind of, control range. And had his moments where he tried to do more damage, but never really fully went for the finishing ability. Emmett kind of was just more aggressive in this round. It had some good body work, but still super close. It could have easily been Kattar's round. Going into 2, I thought Kattar took this round over more. He knocked him down, was walking him down, and whoever was going forward in this fight seemed to be winning the fight pretty easily. And also, in round, I think from round 2 forward, I don't know if Emmett landed more than a couple significant clean shots. Kattar didn't have as many super powerful ones, and when he did, it really stunned Emmett, you could tell. But Emmett, he had a couple that just touched him, but it was nothing special. He could definitely put some damage on some people ahead of him, but I don't expect him to really go too far anywhere. But man, yeah, 2, 4, 5 I'd give to Kattar. 3, I'd say Emmett edged, and he had aggressiveness in the last minute that took the round for him. Rounds 4 and 5 were clear as day that they were Kattar. Emmett was hitting air. He only throws hooks. But once again, does Calvin Kattar deserve a little bit of blame for leaving it to the judges' scorecards? Yes. He didn't use a kick the whole fight. And when he did, he had a little bit of success when he had that front kick going. Kind of just abandoned it. And it just makes it tough for, you to have diverse striking. But just with his jab, man, he's keeping range, he's winning. It's just it's just brutal. And I sent a message to our boy, and I was like, they better not rob Kattar. And I probably, sent Destiny in right there, but of course they do. I bet everyone lost money on this one. It's pretty ridiculous. Emmett put on an okay performance. But yeah, he might be able to beat some people in front of him. Might not. He's just big for the division. I don't know. And for a guy who sits so heavy on his front leg kicks destroy Emmett. But he's probably scared of getting that knockout like Ricardo Ramos faced. So he probably didn't want to put too many of those out there. But disappointing. I thought Kattar won. Next one, Kevin Holland. The Cowboy fight got scratched, so we just, skip it, obviously. Kevin Holland, I'm going to say he looked alright. And, a lot of people love him, and I like to downplay people's performances a little bit. The one thing I will say is his cardio looked great. I've seen him in fights where he gets too excited and really struggles to keep things going and find his pace for the fight. And this one, he came in great shape. He threw a lot of strikes, and he still got the job done, so that was really good to see. Tim Means looked actually better than I thought he looked, how I kind of expected him to look. He did pretty well, actually, I thought. And I will say, Kevin just doesn't have that same speed advantage at welterweight. He still had a speed advantage on Tim Means, but Tim Means is old as shit. He faces some younger fighters. He's going to struggle with that speed differential. And his strikes are so unconventional that sometimes they can be knockouts and sometimes they can just be exposing to your defense. The choke didn't look all the way in that he had, but, it could have been just, rolled into the wrong position for Tim, or it really pushed in his Adam's apple too much, and he tapped on it. It was a good performance. Hopefully, Holland can tune up his skills a little bit more still. Just a little reckless. But yeah, he hit on a parlay, but another leg fell out, so fuck, right? Buckley. This was a weird fight. Buckley really isn't that good. He does what Josh Emmett does. He runs forward and he throws a lot of hooks. He did have some head kicks that landed, but Durov's got really weird grappling attack. His takedowns, he dives straight down and then forward, and he has really weird timing with it. It gives Buckley a little bit of time to react. And credit to Buckley, he did have some good sprawls in there. But Durov didn't really have any good jabs or anything, and Buckley's the old blitzer, just fucking blitzes people. Wasn't too surprised by the fight. I expected that Durov could do a little bit better because Buckley's one of those guys fundamentally who isn't that great in the sport. But, probably will just avoid Durov in the future. He doesn't have that super big toughness like you would want out of some of those guys, so, and nor the grappling to really go crazy about. Okay, we're getting to our next robbery of the fight, and hear me out. I know a lot of people probably thought Damir won, but hear me out for the reasoning here. So, round 1, Deron. I thought he had the slightly better striking, had a couple more clean shots, and I thought it was pretty clear that he won round 1. He hurt Damir twice, I believe, in that round, and some judge still scored the fight 30-27. I don't even understand how they could come up with that number. It's just like fucking fraud, man. It's just pre-written. And then we're going into 2. Man, and 2 is so close, and I mean, for all 3 judges again to give it to Damir is insane to me, because it was very close. The one thing I will say that made the difference is that Deron shot about 6 takedowns in round 2 and came up short on all 6 of them. He couldn't finish them, and I think that sways what the judges can see. But in terms of striking, I actually thought that Deron had a little bit more of the powerful strikes, and Damir had more of the jabs. But, I'll give it to Damir for round 2. Round 3, I thought Deron won every bit of round 3 until he kneed him in the chest, got a bad stand-up call by Herb Dean, and then ended up back on his feet and got punched once in the face, and they stole the round from him. He was ahead the whole round, and he did a legal move on the ground, was about to win the fight, and Herb Dean practically stole the fight from him. And I get it's hard to be a ref, but I mean, he could have looked at the replay more closely, took someone else's advice with it, put them back on the ground, and tell the judges that it was a legal strike, and Deron wins that fight. I don't think there's going to be a weird scorecard like a tie or whatever. I don't know, pretty clear to me that Deron took 1 in 3. Another fucking fight we're on the wrong side of. That was an underdog pick. We did get the distance call right, and I get the split decision call right, but tough. Next one, Gregory Rodrigues. That went exactly as we fucking planned. Rodrigues is a gunslinger, man, and he's got that. He just looks like a RoboCop too, and he goes down there and he knocked down Marquez 4 times, I believe. I just felt he would have that power edge, and he did, and he put him away quick, and this is like the confirmation of how good the card was. It really was told me, like, damn, this is fucking crazy. Guys threw down like that. Marquez was game. He had a chin for a moment, and then he really got put out bad. But, I mean, if you were talking about Rodrigues, he's a hard guy to bet, because I think he could go in versus a lot of people and really struggle. But he's actually pretty young. I think he's like 28. He'll keep getting better. And hopefully he develops more striking defense yet, and he can just keep pushing his way through. But yeah, RoboCop gets her done. Adrian Yanez defeats Tony Kelley, like we thought. I don't know why the submission. I think I might have messed up the touch on that one. But I think round 2 KO is our call. Tony Kelley had some decent moments in the start, but like the timing that Yanez has is so unique and clean. He's constantly staring at these guys' chins, slipping in body work, and the first shot that actually stunned Tony Kelley with, it didn't even look like he threw hardly anything that hard. I don't think Tony saw it coming, and then from there it was just like peppering him. And Tony Kelley, I guess he just was hated by the crowd. Missed weight. Yanez did not like him for that one. But yeah, dude, Yanez is a high ceiling. I think he could really push it. He would definitely hit that top 15 number. He's got great timing with his hands, and he should keep it up. This was a bad fight. Horrible call. Maybe one of the most one-sided fights, and I'll just say female fights I've ever seen. Apparently Kay Hansen would get beat by a 200-pound fat girl, because she is not. Kay Hansen is so bad. If Jasmine literally just took her down 10 times in that fight. Just Jasmine looked so bad. Her takedowns were awful. Silva would just hip through her like 4 times. But Silva looked great. I'll give her that credit. She moved and she poked her. But man, for so many of these fighters in the UFC, length is like not something that's going to be used. Jasmine had a huge height and reach advantage, and she didn't even fucking use it. She didn't use a jab. She doesn't have fast hands. Silva was just 10 times faster. Jasmine looked gassed after a round. She was definitely an inflated favorite because everyone saw her. She beat Kay Hansen dominantly in her first fight. She was very cocky, and she just got fucking humbled. Good dog money, though, if you found the spot. I did see Silva's striking was alright, but just thought that she would get put to the ground, and she just didn't. Good fight for her, and we can't call a chick fight, so yeah, we'll just keep moving down. Jeremiah Wells defeats Court Mcgee. Did not see that KO coming. We all know Jeremiah Wells has that power. But the way it happened, I think the whole first round, well, whatever, the 2 minutes of it, Wells really didn't get too many shots that were close to even hitting Mcgee. And just like the left hand from fucking hell. I mean, it landed so crazy perfect. It was down by his waist. He just shot across, and it was the index finger knuckle, like the best fucking spot to hit. Clean on the edge of the chin, instant KO, and I mean, he deserves the 50K bonus. I think a lot of these fighters do in this card. Great work from him. And we doubted him. Mcgee, I think, again, if it would have kept going, I shouldn't say what if, but if it would have kept going, Mcgee probably would have slept, or went to a decision. He did go to sleep, though. Moving on. Ricardo, Ramos, and Danny Chavez. We predicted the KO. Man, I grabbed this at plus 800, and I parlayed it with Kattar by KO, and it didn't hit. But Ramos, man, I just felt like he would be the superior striker, superior grappler, and I thought he would keep the fight on the feet, and he's just doing unconventional shit, and he got one of the contenders probably for the knockout of the year. I would say maybe 6 or 7 down the list, but it was still really fucking good. Chavez popped up afterwards, had no idea what was going on. And Ramos, the unconventional, the exciting, it's fun to watch. He's like a little Yair Rodrigues. He's similar to that. I shouldn't say little. Are they in the same weight class? Yeah, they are. But, yep, pretty easy call here. Wish I had him on my fantasy team because it was a pretty quick one. Maria Oliveira. Again, another decision. Man, I have a hard time remembering this fight just because, you don't really care about it if you don't have a bet on it. And, there's a lot of fights on the card, and you only have an attention span for however much. I'm trying to think. Round 1 was close, and Oliveira got the edge just by volume, I believe. Round 2 was pretty clear, Paula. And then round 3, man, there was a takedown that was awkward, and Paula couldn't defend a takedown. That was pretty awesome to watch. You'd love to see that from a fighter. Didn't know how to sprawl her hips out. But, I don't know, I thought Gloria ended with better damage in round 3. Maria hit a lot of air. I don't even care about this one too much. But, yeah, I thought Gloria won. Who cares? Moving on. Poor Eddie Wineland when Cody Stamann walked in there. Just got fucking punched once or twice and down he goes. And Cody Stamann is the decision man. He goes to a ton of decisions. His chin is done. He's got to go out. Get out of there. I think he put his gloves down for retirement, but didn't get a post-fight interview, so you don't know for sure. Probably said something already backstage, but Cody Stamann just came in like a little Michael Chandler, like I say, the Walmart version of Michael Chandler. Swung his hooks, pretty much did what Buckley does and what Emmett does, and got him out of there. And props to him. He cashed as a big favorite. Moving on. Phil Haws versus Deron Winn. Oh, what a goofy one. Deron Winn be eating all that ice cream and then train with Habib, not losing weight after hard-ass training sessions. Phil Haws, this is an example. I usually don't side with Phil Haws. I'm not a big fan of his just because his unreliability. But this is the good example of someone using their reach advantage. He knew he had a 7-inch reach and height advantage, and he just fucking popped to win the whole fight. And there were some nervous moments where Winn hit Haws, and I was like, oh, fuck. But you just knew that Haws had it kind of in the bag. He wasn't really gassing. Again, I don't know how Winn fucking fights at 85, but yeah, he got that KO, and Winn had like a Diaz brothers chin. He just kept on fighting. Did the old Randy Marsh. I thought it was America. I didn't hear no bell. And stuck in there, but Phil versus Gregory Rodrigues, that's the fight to make. Two guys who just came with exciting knockouts. I'd pick Rodrigues, but there's always a chance that Phil could get that in there too. Moving on, the last fight. Man, this was a weird one too. First minute, headbutt happens. And I don't know to the extent that it affected Daukaus, and I'm not going to say that it cost him the fight, but it could have. And he got headbutted really bad. And then Roman pushed up on him when they got back, and left hook. Larry came, hit him on the face, got dropped, took it to the fence, and honestly one of the most unique knee KOs standing I've ever seen. The knee, I think it might have broke his left orbital tiles because, man, there's a huge pop. Kyle, I thought I saw on the replay his orbital sunk in a little bit, and I was like, God damn. But props to Roman, he proved everyone wrong. I felt a little bit weary about this fight. It's just Kyle's got a weird structure for middleweight. It's not very muscular, but he is big. Night of the dogs, I guess. Quite a few dogs won tonight, but again, those split decisions fucking kill you. Yeah, we'll just head over to the bets. Pain. 3 cards losing in a row. It's not fun. And things just can't go your way. Grom split decision. Go fuck yourself. Felt that one. Stamann Yanez. That was easy money. That was my most confident one. I know the odds say that as well, but Daukaus Holland, Holland had that performance, took Daukaus, but a lot of people lost on Daukaus tonight. Rodrigues, like I said, cashed out. Jasmine looked so god-awful. Kattar was robbed. Ramos easily got the dub, but again, that's a fucking cashable parlay right there, and that's practically a 2.5 unit swing. It would have negative half a unit on the night if Kattar got that decision. Moving down, Kattar, Carson's parlay, Kattar, Jasmine, Holland, Yanez missed. Obviously, one robbery, one horrible fighter. And then, since Cowboy got ruined, we had to scratch up some of the card here. I picked Kattar and Emmett to go not the distance because I really thought that these two would come at each other with pressure and throw bombs at each other. And, they did for moments, but Kattar kind of swung to a risk-adverse fighting style, and he did stun Emmett a couple times. It would have put other people out, I believe, but the dude had a pretty good chin. Damir and Deron with the distance. Easy call. Rodrigues and Marquez under 2.5. Cut it on under 1.5 and got plus odds. Doesn't matter. 1.56 payback. That's pretty good. Stamann and Jasmine on points. Goodbye. Half a unit. Kattar, round 3, 4, 5. That would have been a big win on the night. That Ramos KO at 800, I just don't know how that existed. Had to take it. Again, I thought Kattar had some moments where he stunned Josh and could have really poured it on him. Or even just go into a 50-50 exchange with those elbows, because a lot of Emmett's knockouts come from a little bit of distance that he cuts down. He doesn't really have those short inside knockouts. It's like a body length at least away from somebody, or half a body length. And then lastly, called the split decision on the Deron fight, and then we're going to do Mcgee points, and that just ended pretty fast. But minus 3 units for this card. I mean, there's a lot of fucking bullshit going on. Would we still have lost anyway with the Kattar one? Yes, but if he had Grom winning as well, we would have won. You can't leave it in the judges' scorecards. Maybe we'll sharpen up some of the ideas we got here. But, I mean, a lot of the picks are good here. It's just the lining of things up and things not going your way. It's tough to call. But overall, probably the second best card of the year behind UFC London. And, we'll be back with our picks maybe tomorrow, Sunday, or Monday. And, stay tuned. Check out the Instagram for all the results. And, peace.